Apparently, I did not know this. I was not aware of this, but it's been reported that I get up 3 to 4 times a show, and I'm going to do coke. I have a question. Serious question. And I don't want this to be, me going on the offensive because, things are wrapping up for me. But at what point is shit actionable? Like, one thing I've proven over time, I have a pretty goddamn good sense of humor about myself. I laugh along, especially when it's, crazy, unemployed drug addicts saying wild, crazy shit about you. But, like, accusations that you drugged somebody's kid, saying for a fact that somebody's doing coke. I mean, at what point do you stop giggling and going, ha, 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 and you go, really? I mean, I'm just wondering. Maybe I'm full of the Holy Spirit today because of recent events. I don't know. But at what point do you just go, you want to fuck on me? I don't know. It's, right now, let's just call it a hypothetical question at this point. But goddamn, boys and girls, am I in a good mood today? And should I not be in a good mood today? Yeah, I was sent a thing yesterday, while I was enjoying the great news that I've been getting the last 36 hours or so. And we'll talk about that because I told the evening show about it. I'll tell you about it. But my jaded ex... My jaded ex is like, I've been watching his show relentlessly. I've been watching every second, which I would not. That's not something I'd admit. Some people might confuse that for being psychotic. But he said he's been leaving his show 3 to 4 times a show, and he's doing cocaine, and you see he wipes his nose and everything else. First of all, I think you could go back to show after show after show. I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't think I've left the show at all this week. And I think morning shows in general, I've left for a grand total per show of like 40 seconds to take a piss right over there. By the way, right over there is a bathroom. I'm not saying like I just walk over to another part of the room and take a piss.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I don't just piss on my own floor. I'm not an animal. But I'll go and I'll take a piss and I'll come back. Ladies and gentlemen, I am fueled by God's natural energy, Celsius. That's which by the way, let's be very clear. To us Celsius drinkers, this stuff will blow a goddamn hole in your heart. Then I drink it nice and slow. So I don't know. It's a little odd, is all I'm saying. But look, man, nobody going to break in my stride. Nobody going to slow me down. Oh, no. I've got to keep on moving. Look, let's talk about, see, Cocktiff says, why do you care about what unemployed unfubles think? But you understand that's the battle I'm having in my head. I'm like, it's funny to watch him flail. It's funny to watch him lose his shit while he's trying to keep his shit together. And then if he just hears AA, he goes, ah! And he loses his mind and he just starts lying. Like just bullshit starts pouring out of his mouth. The problem is there's a lot of shit he wishes were true because he's a far worse human being than I am. And he can't let that be true. I mean, his public image is shattered, and that's all that ever mattered to him. And now that it's shattered, everyone else around him has to be shattered, or it's not fair. You got to remember, he's got that affluenza. He's never had to work a day in his life. He's been rich from the word go, from grandparents' money. So this, everybody else has to pay because he can never be responsible for anything he's done. And it's sad to watch, for anybody. But to just throw horse shit out there is a little weird when you could be spending that time working on yourself. Lord knows I'm very experienced in that, and I can tell you this, it feels great, but you got to have courage. You got to have grit, and he doesn't have that. But 2 days ago, I was extended an unofficial offer. 2 days ago, and again, just like last night, we won't get detailed into it because the finer points are still being hammered out, and we still want some answers to some questions because some shit's pretty weird. Like, why all of a sudden are you coming to us with this? Why all of a sudden is it just, here, what happened that we deserve this, graciousness, this generosity? 2 days ago, I get an email from my attorney, and I'll spare you the finer points, but he wrote, "We're on the verge of getting what we want." And I said, okie dokie. And then he started detailing the finer points to me, and I said, that's quite a bit more than what we want, but it's never a bad thing. Okay. So it was good. And then, but it was not official. Yesterday, it became an official offer. And it is an offer that is now being, ping-ponged back and forth. There's also a trial we were preparing for. We would like a chance to lay all our cards on the table and just share all, they've shared all their subpoenas and information with us. We want to share all of our stuff with them. And it is a fine approach to the ending of a very frustrating and ridiculous saga. And it is one that allows me to untie myself and completely unshackle myself from something ridiculous and sinful and toxic and evil, and something that made me a horrible person, something that made me a very bad guy, but something I learned a lot from, but something that I was able to watch. I get to watch one individual still, and I get to see them, and I get to go, wow, I'm learning a lot about what not to do. I'm learning a lot about the pitfalls of life, and I get to avoid them, and I get to observe and learn, and it's wonderful. And I get to finally untether myself from this, and it feels so good. At the same time, there is a time to be gracious, and there is a time to say, everybody involved in this has been a professional. Everybody involved in this has been, it's never felt personal or anything else. And I'm very glad that we're all working together now to come to a solution that I see as, how do I put this? Very digestible. Very digestible. Does not give me indigestion, shall we say. So, look, the last, for the better part of a year, I've been just a very happy guy, very excited about the way things are going. With this news, it's just been jacked up to an 11. I mean, I've broken through some kind of a ceiling in the last 36 hours. I feel incredible. And this is so an offer has been extended by the state of Minnesota. That's what I will say now. This is definitely something we can work with, and it's something we are working with. The only question I have, and I don't know if I will ever get this answer. I think I will be bound to speculation for the rest of my life. I don't think I'll ever get this answer. Because much like I'm not laying all the cards out right now, I don't think they'll ever lay out all the cards. Why now? Why all of a sudden? This wasn't like a gradual thing. Nothing like this has come up yet. Is it, I'm only left to wonder out loud. Is it because clearly New York does not plan on serving subpoenas? Is it because, Gino and Keanu have said, no, we're out. Forget this. We're not getting involved. I don't know. But whatever it is, it does make one wonder. And there's a part of me that wonders, how how do I say this to you? There's a part of me that wonders, is there an advantage to press here? Or at what point do you just not be greedy and you go, good is good enough for me? Good is good enough for me. That's where I'll leave it for today. I'll read some of your guys' commentary. I'll read some of your guys' stuff. The only question I keep banging around in my head, and it's a question that I don't feel I'll ever get an answer to, is why now? Why all of a sudden? We were not expecting this. This was, we were all geared up for war. We were all geared up, ready to go. And this kind of came out of nowhere. So I'm wondering, what happened? What's the deal? And maybe that's not a question to be known. Maybe that's not a question to ask. I've never been in this situation before.